Holy smoke. CNN just went off the rails as Jake Tapper went to ballistic on President Trump regarding the Epstein story. All right, this is pretty unbelievable. And listen, you know what? I know this is the same Jake Tapper who blew the story wide open regarding President Biden's cognitive decline. But still, also, please sense my sarcasm on that. He did not blow the story wide open. He was late by about 2 years, but he did manage to write a book about it. All right. A very unoriginal book called The Original Sin. But still, I thought this clip was pretty fascinating. So check this out. Also, guys, if you like having conversations like this, if you think they matter, please consider liking and subscribing. It makes a huge difference. All right, check this out.
So what's really going on here? I mean, what's really going on? Well, experts such as our friend Julie Brown from the Miami Herald, who's been covering Epstein for years, say that the notion of Epstein having an easy-to-access client list is likely a red herring. And that's what the Trump administration is relying on, that there likely isn't a list per se. But they are also now relying on the fact that because it's MAGA influencers who often put forward so many falsehoods, legacy news media won't push the point, that while there might not be a list, there are certainly files that can be released. There's a trove of information that the Trump administration is right now refusing to share. Information that could well point to the powerful folks who availed themselves of the sex trafficking victims of Jeffrey Epstein. If you go, for example, to the FBI vault online, you can see that there are 22 files containing thousands of pages. Most of them are heavily redacted. Now, sure, of course, redact the names and identifying characteristics of the victims. But why not make the victim and witness testimonies public? As Julie Brown points out, there's still so much we don't know from the investigations by U.S. attorneys in Miami and in New York, witness interviews in the U.S. Virgin Islands and New Mexico. Brown writes that there's still more evidence that hasn't been published, including, quote, Epstein kept video cameras in most of his residences, and Epstein's autopsy, nor the report of the investigation into his death, has ever been made public. So while there may not be an official client list to be released, as the administration is now saying, there's a lot of extra information that is not being made public, despite Trump's Justice Department basically now saying case closed. This isn't going to go away. The public, you're being played for fools here.
Wow, that is so powerful. Tapper right now said, the public, you're being played for fools here. Also, could we talk about this? By the Miami Herald, Epstein kept video cameras in most of his residences, and Epstein's autopsy nor the report of the investigation into his death has ever been made public. All right. So in the beginning, when he says, what's really going on here? Like, let me tell you, the water is murky, and he is right. You do have a right to know. And to be perfectly clear, anything short of transparency, full transparency, is borderline deception, and we shouldn't be okay with that. We shouldn't allow that. This is the same deception tactics that the Biden administration used, the same tactics that the right for the better part of the last 4 years said that it felt manipulative, and we shouldn't accept that. All right, it is ridiculous. I saw this from Colin Rugg, so very grateful for him to share that video. Is great. And here are some of the top comments. AG says, why didn't Tapper ask for it during the Biden administration? Good question. She continues and says, this is the exact reason I believe evidence was destroyed. Dems don't ask for anything unless they know the answer. Sounds suspicious, but it doesn't sound off the line. Colin responds saying, same reason he didn't notice that Biden was mentally not okay. So true. Another top comment says, yes, now that he darn well knows that it's not coming out, he's going to prance around begging for the list to be released. You don't hate these clowns enough. And you know what is bonkers is this person is absolutely right, but check this out. DC Moreno, and they posted this yesterday. They said, no Epstein posts from Nancy Pelosi, no Epstein posts from Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries. All of Trump's biggest enemies are eerily quiet today. If they believed truly that Trump was on that list, they'd be screaming for it to be released. But he's not, and they know it. So why are they quiet? It's all their friends that are on it. All right, this was shared yesterday, has over almost 3 million views, which is bonkers. But this story is so huge. We even see Benny Johnson going ballistic on Twitter today. He says, fascinating that the same Department of Justice that could lock up every grandma who even looked at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th is completely helpless when asked to find the billionaire politician clients of the world's most famous when they're all on video and flight logs. I'm telling you, people want answers and they're not getting it. The people aren't getting it. Game Tech Politics wrote this saying Epstein was arrested on Trump's watch, died under Trump's watch, and the cover up is on Trump's watch. Please explain. Make it make sense. And you have this hilarious picture of Jim from The Office, which is just looking very skeptical. All right. And I think a lot of people have this face on right now. All right. So don't try to tell me that this is just going to be swept off the rug. All right. But you know what? Something good did happen today. I saw this from the Vigilant Fox. They were, wow, Governor Abbott reveals RFK Jr. texted him that HHS will declare a public health emergency for the Texas floods. All right. And apparently this happened like legit, just live and on a camera. He whipped out his phone and read this text from Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I thought this was amazing. Check this out.
So while coming over here, I received this text from Secretary Kennedy. It says the following. It says, Governor Abbott, it's Secretary Robert Kennedy. It says, we are set to declare a public health emergency for the Texas Hill Country flash floods. This will make it easier for healthcare and mental health providers from out of state to help both by traveling to the area and by telemedicine. Please let us know where we can be most helpful, which I will let him know. But I just wanted you to know about that new update. So
check that out. I love it. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. out here asking, please let us know where we can be the most helpful. And you know what? What I love about this is that on days when there are so many other things happening, I know there's a lot of noise in the political arena right now, but there's still people who are genuinely trying to contribute and fight the good fight. And I think that's being reflected right here by Governor Abbott of Texas and Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So I thought this was great. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know where you stand on this conspiracy or this gigantic story right now that has MAGA spinning its wheels. And tell me what you think about all this. All right, from Jake Tapper to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to Governor Abbott of Texas, and just where all these Democrats are. Where is Pelosi? Where is Schumer? Where is Jeffries? Didn't Jeffries talk for like 24 hours straight last week, and he doesn't have a quick 30 seconds to comment on this matter today? A little weird if you ask me. A lot of this is weird. All right. But anyways, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? What is making you raise your eyebrows like me? All right. What's going to give you some wrinkles right up here if you don't already have them? All right. And I'll see you guys next time. If you made it this far, consider liking and subscribing. I mean, if you made it this far, that means this is a pretty interesting story. All right. And you should probably want to be part of the next one. All right. So turn on that notification bell because why not? All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Episode's over already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.